Hi, folks. I'm Joette Calabrese. I'm a homeopath and homeopathic educator. And for those who don't know me, and for those who do know me, hi, friends. It's great to see everyone. We're here every Monday night, Eastern Standard Time at 8 o'clock p.m. And if you miss this, or if your friends miss this, I'm on YouTube, and you can watch these at any time at all. Now, let's see. I've got some information for you tonight. We're going to do a tiny bit of Corolla update because, oh my gosh, the world has gone insane. Everyone is freaking over this virus. Come on, really, folks? The CDC predicts, I've got it right here, that at least 12,000 Americans will die from the flu in any given year. 12,000 people will die from the flu, and it hits all age groups, any age group. And as many as 61,000 people died in 2017, 2018 in the flu season. And 45 million were infected. How many have died now of this virus in the U.S.? Was it under 18 people have died? Come on! Let's not get crazy about this. I think the media is playing us like a violin. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. You know, maybe I'll eat my words at some point. But I see this every single year, and they better hurry up and scramble and get that vaccine done. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't put a lot of credence into this because I see it every single year. And every single year, the deadly disease sounds more deadly than anything we've ever heard of in the past. So I've got a little update for you, not in the numbers so much, but as to how to handle this. I believe that, I've said this before, arsenicum album is certainly a possibility. Arsenicum album 30 once a day for a week as a prophylactic, and then perhaps once a week for several weeks until the threat is over. I also believe that Gelsemium could possibly be one of the important medicines, and I would use that in a 30 if someone gets it. But one of the main medicines for a virus is, as per the Banerjees, Prasanta and Pradeep Banerjee protocols, is to use Thuja, Thuja, Thuja occidentalis. It's the only Thuja that I know that you're going to find very readily, and you'll find it. Boron carries it, and many other companies carry it. Thuja occidentalis, and that could be a very good preventative as well. So you would use that as in a 30th potency. Could be a 30C or a 30X, whatever you have available in your corner of the world. And again, it would be once a day for a week as a prophylactic, then once a week for 3-4 weeks until the threat is over. So now we've got 3 medicines. I also like Nux vomica for this particular season of colds. And of course, then if we went into SARS and something respiratory, then we would go into something like phosphorus 30. Now, I've written about this on my blog. I did not include Thuja. I'm including Thuja now. The Banerjees have, I believe they have treated some cases, and I don't know that they know necessarily that it is absolutely coronavirus, but they may indeed. And so they're finding that Thuja is the medicine that we often use for viruses in general. So I mentioned Gelsemium, and Gelsemium is exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight in my Materia Medica, which looks like this. Materia Medica, should you be interested. But you may read other Materia Medicas. You can get them in mine. And so we're going to be talking about Gelsemium, Gelsemium. Sempervirens is the second word, but all you need to know is Gelsemium. And what I love about Gelsemium is that it's an excellent medicine for any kind of flu or cold, or if we can't identify what it is that we're experiencing, but we have great fatigue, it's a medicine. And I often use Gelsemium in a 30th potency. That's my favorite. I've used it in 6. I've used it in a 200. But I like Gelsemium 30 when we have great fatigue, either from a cold or flu, or even just because many people just have chronic fatigue. Now, it is not the only medicine we use for fatigue. There are many others. It just happens to be one of them that especially is specific for for fatigue in relationship to the colds and flus that are occurring now and next year, the following year. So it's great for when there's an infection as well. What I also love about this great medicine, Gelsemium, Gelsemium 30, is I like to use it for anticipatory anxiety. So if a child has a test tomorrow, or you have a presentation in 2 days, or you have to go to the dentist and you're worried, or that anticipation that causes anxiety and could even cause fatigue, but you don't have to have both. But if you've got that, you've probably got a dead ringer for Gelsemium 30. And so when it comes to using Gelsemium for anxiety, then I would use it, say, twice a day once the anxiety ensues, and say the day before the event or that night before the person goes to bed, when they start feeling it the next day, etc. Years ago, I took a scuba diving course, and I was living in Chicago at the time, and we had to do our checkout dive in Racine Quarry. Well, Quarry doesn't sound so bad, but the water was ice cold, and we had a full wetsuit on, and you were supposed to jump into the water and dive down 40 feet. As I recall, it was a free dive with our mask, and a snorkel, but no equipment. And we had to dive down, and there was a diver at the bottom of the quarry, just one of the instructors standing there holding on to a line. And we were supposed to travel down the line, take the ring out of the instructor's hand, and pop up to the top, and hand the ring to the instructor on the side of the quarry. Well, just the thought of going into that black water. It was black. It was not clear like it is in the Bahamas, Caribbean, or even Florida for that matter. It was black water. It was very cold and ominous. And I was a wreck, an absolute wreck about doing this. I had prepared. I'd worked out. I'd learned all that I was supposed to learning, doffing, donning, and all of that, and was trying to get my PADI and Maui certification, and this was the most trying of all that I had to do. There were many others, feats that we had to complete to get this certification, but this one was the one that I couldn't practice for, because how can you practice going into a quarry in the it wasn't dead of winter, but it was pretty darn cold. I think it was something like this time of year, about April, and it was pretty uncomfortable. And I remember my stomach was a mess, and I felt very fatigued the night before, and my stomach was gurgling and doing all kinds of flips and worrying whether or not I was even going to be able to do it because my stomach was so upset. I wish I had known about Gelsemium back then, because my courage was lacking, and that's what we use this for, is lack of courage. So a very, very good one for lack of courage and fatigue and the flu, especially the flu that has fatigue, especially whether it's flu or cold. And sometimes we can't tell the difference, although I will tell you that I believe that it's actually easier to figure out than you might think. The flu, generally speaking, is a knockout, drag down illness. You can't leave the bed. In your body, every muscle on your body aches and is in pain, etc., etc. Whereas a cold is more uncomfortable and inconvenience. The flu is will change your whole attitude about life at that moment, and it takes longer to get over the flu. And we often see the flu followed by depression. So if there's a lot of fatigue, that incorporate Gelsemium, and we can use both Gelsemium and something else that may be needed, such as Thuja 30. The J is silent in Thuja. Some people pronounce it Thuja, but it's many of us pronounce it with a silent J, Thuja. And so it's a lack of alertness that's either from the flu or just because. On the mental plane, there's a fear of forthcoming. I'm reading out of my Materia Medica now. Fear of forthcoming ordeal. It can usher in the flu, that kind of sensation, those kinds of feelings, fear of exams, presentations, or an event. I especially like it for fear of going to the dentist, which is super common. Or sometimes people get sick before that event and they think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get past this. Now I'm sick. So I'm not only worried and anxious, now I'm sick too. That's usually Gelsemium. And so we can also have headaches with this medicine. I'm reading here, headaches can be persistent and very painful, and the head can feel heavy. There's a lot of heaviness with this medicine. And I look at it as a D medicine, meaning there are a lot of words that begin with the letter D. Drowsy, dragging, droopy, duskiness, depressed, double vision, droopy eyes, dull, dazed, dizzy, dread, distressed, and even drunken-like appearance. Now, by a drunken-like appearance, I mean the person's eyes are half-masked. They're so fatigued. And the person is, of course, suffers exhausted and weak, both physically and mentally. So remember this for a droopy exists, either related to the flu, related to an ordeal, or just because. Now, many times people will say, yeah, but my fatigue is as a result of, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that people often say to me. Well, there are many reasons for fatigue, and so we don't need necessarily the reason. If it happens to fit, then we're going to strongly consider it. It's not the only medicine. If I were to open my repertory right now, behind me, I'm going right there, I would find that under fatigue, we would have pages of medicines that could be used. So a lot of times people call it adrenal fatigue. To be honest, kind of meaningless and when we use homeopathy in this fashion. All right. Skipping. Yes, there's skipping of the words. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know if 3 people are telling me there's something going on. Well, there is a lot of weather going on around me right now. I'll just keep repeating so that you don't miss some words. If I say it enough times, you might get it. Right? Okay, skipping for me. Yes, okay. Others, yeah, a lot of people are saying cutting out a lot. I'm so sorry. I'm sure it's that because we've got, as I said, got a lot of weather. Jello is wonderful at the birth I attended with great fatigue and anxiety over the stage to come. You bet, Ruth. Absolutely. And hi, Shelley. Hello from Maine to Tara. Okay. Yes, and 6X. You're right. I like 6C and 6X. Thank you for mentioning that, Linda. I teach that in my course called Mindful Homeopathy. And in that case, I might use it in a 6C or 6X twice daily for chronic anxiety. And hello from Cleveland. Let's see. For fatigue caused from detoxing, who knows? That's just what I'm saying. It matters not. Do we really know we're even detoxing? I've done a whole course on detoxification and a different way of looking at it. Is it good for pneumonia? It's not medicine I think of for pneumonia. Pneumonia is a medicine that we want to use specifically for the lungs. It could be used in addition to that, but I go with, and I've written about it on my blog. In fact, I've written about so many things on my blog that if you have a question, just Google my name and the blog will come up with whatever condition it is you are looking for. Joette, I think my sisters are just starting to become interested in homeopathic medicine. What is the way to guide them? I will be introducing them to you. Have them go to the blog. Everything's free. It's all there it is. 10 years of free information trying to teach the world. I want families to know about this. And then if they want to move further, then they should join one of our study groups. Very inexpensive, lots of fun. You meet others online, or you can join one locally. Okay, Gelsemium was wonderful. I saw that. Birth, discussing fatigue, adrenal fatigue. Yes, adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is a term that naturopaths, functional MDs use. We don't use that in homeopathy. We use, at least the way that I practice homeopathy, is I use conventional diagnostic information, not naturopathic or functional doctors' diagnostics. It isn't that bad, so I guess the skipping's not that bad. Gelsemium for anemia? No, I talked about anemia last week, I believe it was. Was it last week? I think it was. No, I would go with that instead. If we know what the condition actually is, then we're going to use the medicine that is specific to that. I get the meaning of your cast, even when the minor... Okay, good. Good. I'm glad you're getting it. Took it for anticipatory anxiety. Recently experienced renew afterwards. Yes, thank you for saying that. I think it was helping with leftover fatigue from the flu last spring. You bet. There are times when the flu lingers for months, even a year. Not the flu itself, but the ill effects from it. And a lot of times it's fatigue. And yes, indeed, often deal with old fatigue that seems to be now well entrenched in someone's life. Let's see what else we've got. Tuned in late. Okay. Anxiety with jittery feeling around the heart. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Does Gelsemium have jittery feeling around the... It's possible. I don't remember. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. Would you give Gelsemium for chronic anxiety or ignatia? If it's anticipatory anxiety, if it's forthcoming an event, then I would go more with Gelsemium. If it's more chronic anxiety that's not over just anticipation, then I would go a little bit more towards, I would lean a little heavier towards ignatia. That's right, Georgia. Ferrum phosphorus for anemia. Thank you very much. Love from Wisconsin. We are enjoying our drug-free life thanks to you. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Absolutely. Interstitial cystitis. I'm not talking about that tonight. I do cover it very extensively in Feminopathy, my course Feminopathy, in my course called Antibiotic Alternatives. And I believe, no, I don't talk about interstitial cystitis, just UTIs on the blog. Okay. How long does it take to see energy levels go up? Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Sometimes it can take 15 minutes. Other times it can take a few days of repeating the medicine. I gave Gelsemium to my 5-year-old daughter before her surgery, and the doctor and staff were amazed that she just rode back and answered fun questions before being put under. She was not frightened. It's beautiful. You didn't say that. That's what I'm thinking. For chronic fatigue, yes, it can be considered. Yes, absolutely. Is coronavirus a real threat to us? Sorry. I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt, to be honest. I don't get worried about those kinds of things. Maybe it's because I have confidence in homeopathy. I wasn't always like this either. I must say that there was a time when I did worry about these kinds of things, but I trust homeopathy. I also trust that my family and I are in pretty good health. I mean, I might eat my words. Who knows? But so far, so good. Every disease that's come our way, we might get sick, but we recover. I'm not telling you that we don't get sick. My husband's got a little cough right now. He doesn't feel sick. He just sounds like he's got a cough. He does have a cough. He sounds a little sick, but he doesn't feel sick. And I think it's because we've trusted homeopathy and we've stayed away from synthetic drugs. Now, again, I also want you to remember, I don't believe in anybody hopping off of their synthetic drugs or their medications that they're working with a doctor on. That would not be prudent. But if you started them, do everything you can to avoid starting them. Because once you get into that world, it's no longer your choice. It becomes the choice of whoever is making those decisions for you. Trust me, it really does work like that. It doesn't take much to frighten people into submission. when it comes to illnesses, as evidenced by our market dropping so heavily because of this fear of this illness. Remember, it's affecting the elderly and those who are infirm. Does it mean it can never affect any of us? Others? No, it doesn't mean that. But it's so far, that's the pattern. So far, many people are getting it, and very, very few numbers of people are actually dying. And they're not in the U.S. What I said, it was 18, I think. Maybe by tonight, we'll learn that it's 20. But the profile matters. It definitely matters who's getting sick, what preceded it, what our immune system like before it occurred. You know, the Spanish flu of 1918 was different. It did not affect the elderly, interestingly. It mostly affected the young. And I don't mean children, it affected young adults. It was a strange thing. So that's not the way this is going in the very least. Okay, we've got someone saying 33% of all colds caused by 7 existing strains of coronavirus. It can cause a cold or a flu, and it is not fatal unless pre-existing condition or in the elderly. Yes, thank you very much. How about if fatigue is due to lack of quality sleep? Which remedy would work best for that before going to bed? Well, if there's fatigue, regardless of the etiology, I would still consider the possibility of Gelsemium, and I would add up the possibility if there's more to it than that, such as anxiety, or the person has the flu or had the flu or was never well since the flu. Now you've got more of a pick for Gelsemium. You've got a good rationale there. Joette, are you doing private consultations? I am. I was not doing them I was not taking new clients recently because I was just overbooked. But my schedule has opened up a little bit more. My beloved mother passed away Christmas Eve, and she was my charge, and so I have more time than when I was caring for her, which was practically a full-time job, and so now I have more time. But I will tell you that we do have a waiting, so it's not going to be immediate that I'll be taking new clients. Do you often add Gelsemium for fatigue on top of the main remedies, or do you want to see if the main remedy takes care of the fatigue? That's not a bad way of looking at it, Rachel. I think that you've got a very good point there. But if screaming Gelsemium, then I would use that. And you might find that that alone will do it. It really kind of depends. I'm telling friends and colleagues about homeopathy thanks to you keeping hope for many who meds have failed. I have prescribed as an NP for years, and this has given me hope. There is more available. Thank you. Yes, you're very welcome. Studying more. Excellent. I've been meaning to get Gelsemium, but now I need it. Tired feeling like I'm getting sick. You bet, Sinette. So this is the way you want to do this. Own a kit. Purchase a homeopathy kit. We sell them in our office, but you don't have to buy them from us. You can buy them online. You can go to a lot of health food stores, carry them. You can go to Boiron, Boiron, and get a discount by just putting my name in the discount code, Joette, and you'll get an automatic discount. And again, I don't have an affiliate program with them. So you can buy a kit from Boiron. You can buy kits from Highlands and Hahnemann and many others. Oh, I don't know about Highlands. I don't know if they're still doing it. Thank you for your kind words about my mother. All right. God bless you and you're amazing. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you. All right. I think we have got it. I just finished Homeopathy 1 and just purchased Good Gut, Bad Gut. You bet. This is how you learn, folks. Commit yourselves to this. Learn this stuff. It gives you perspective on life. It gives you perspicacity. It gives you relevance in your children's lives, in your family's life in general, your extended family. You will have knowledge and ability of thinking, of having a keen understanding of what's really going on. Because homeopathy is just about administering medicines. It's all about being able to understand what's actually happening. It's a beautiful thing. And so with that, yes, I should, yes, absolutely. Get a kit. Yes, yes, yes. It's, listen, here's the thing. if you get sick and you know what medicine it is, and it's a Saturday night at 2 in the morning, and you can't go to the store on Sunday, or no one in your family can, and it's not till Monday at 10 o'clock when the store's open, you've just suffered, 24, 36 hours needlessly. But if you have a kit with the top 100 medicines in it that are the most commonly used medicines, and these pharmacies who manufacture them know pretty much what you need because they've been manufacturing them for decades, sometimes is a century. So they know what is useful in your life because it's the same old conditions over and over. Gelsemium's nothing new. There's nothing novel about this. It's been used for 200 years, this beautiful Gelsemium 30. And so, okay. I do not know any practitioners in the same protocol. I don't know anyone who's gone to India and spent the kind of time that I have, other than one person, and she teaches 2 nieces. So let's see. All right, Gelsemium 30. Thank you, Joette. God bless you and family. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Let's see if we have any other questions. Thank you, Lisa, for saying that. Let's see. Thank you so much. I did the boron products for my bronchitis. Amazing in the recovery process right now. Here's the thing. It's not that you're not going to get sick, and it's not that it's going to be instant. Sometimes we see a change within, as I said, minutes. Sometimes it can take days. Just take it easy. Don't worry. Be happy. Make life easy. Don't freak. Drink water. Make moon stock. Stay home. Say your prayers. Get fresh air. Be good to your spouse, take care of your children, and life will serve you generally a little bit better than if you don't. So with that, I'm going to say God bless all of you, and see you next week, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Monday.